Hey yogis, thanks for joining me this afternoon for a quick energy boost. If you joined me this morning for my slow flow, you'll recognize part of this flow. Let's get started. Bringing hands under the shoulders, bring your big toes to touch and your knees slightly apart, and start to shift your hips in some nice big circles. Coming forward and back, connecting your breath as you come forward, inhale. As you come back, exhale. And taking those in the opposite direction. Bring yourself back to center, curl your toes, coming to a table pose. Extend back through the sole of your left foot and curl your knee to your navel. Inhale and extend, and exhale, curl. The next time you curl in, step that left foot through in between your hands and start to shift forward and back, opening up the hamstrings and your left hip. Moving through a few shifts forward and back. And bending into that knee, inhale, stretch your arms all the way up. Take your left fingertips, hover them above the floor, or maybe you can touch the floor on the left side of your hip and curl that right arm up and over, making space from your low belly, from the right hip flexor, all the way up through the side body as you reach to the left. Take an inhale, raise both arms up and begin to take the right hand down the back thigh, reaching all the way up with the left fingertips. Cartwheel your hands down to meet the earth. Take that left foot back again and extend the right arm forward, coming to simple spinal balance. Right hand down, left knee down. We'll take that whole sequence to the other side. Extend back through the right leg. Exhale, curl in, knee to navel. Inhale, extend back. Couple more times. The next time you curl in, step that foot through, and again, find a shift back and forth, coming into Ardha Hanuman and low lunge, finding a little bit more space through those right hamstrings. And the next time you bend into that right knee, rise on up with the breath. Soften into your shoulders, let those right fingertips come down to hover or bring them to a block or to the earth, and stretch your left arm up and over your ear, finding space from the left hip flexors, front of that left hip all the way up through the side of your body, out through your fingertips. And as you inhale, go ahead and rise back up. Exhale, bring the left hand down the back thigh, reach long with the right fingertips, taking a very gentle back bend here. Draw your navel to your spine and extend up. Exhale, hands come down. Step yourself back to a plank pose this time. Pause right here. Find that length from the crown of your head back through your heels. Draw your navel in and up towards your spine. Come down to the earth, knees and chest and chin, sliding all the way through to your cobra pose. Elbows pin in, chest stretches forward. Exhale, release, downward facing dog. Keeping the knees really soft for this first round of dog pose. Bend your knees, stretch long from hands to sitting bones. With your in-breath, rise to the tips of your toes. With your exhale, knees bend, hop or step, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up with the breath. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, let go. Step back with the right foot and with the left foot, coming into high plank. Float into the toes to come halfway down or all the way down to the floor, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Curl your toes, lift your seat. Take a breath in here, float up onto the balls of the feet, knees bend, hop or step, forward fold. Inhale, rise with the breath. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or hop, plank or chaturanga. Take a breath in here. Again, we're coming either knees, chest, chin to a cobra pose, or floating into the toes, coming halfway down or all the way down to cobra or upward facing dog. Elbows stay in, chest expands. Keep those elbows a little soft. Keep that fluidity and buoyancy. Curling over the toes all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Extend long through your right leg, bend, twist, and open, stacking that right hip above the left. Bend your knee, maybe circle your toes in the air. Square your hips up, extend your leg, curl in and step through low lunge, drop the left knee. Inhale, rise with your breath. Exhale, hands down, left knee rises, stretch long through the right leg. A modified Parsvottanasana pyramid pose, sassing that right hip back in space. Deeply bend into the right knee, rise with your breath. Open your arms to how wonderful. As you inhale, stretch the right leg and the arms up. Exhale, bend your knee. Inhale, rise with your breath. And exhale, bend your knee. One more time, rise and bend. Find your posture, your balance here. Squeeze the feet together, deep breath in. Full breath out. Reach your arms up, heart up. Exhale, hands come down. Step back, plank pose. Again, knees, chest, and chin or chaturanga flowing through to your back bend of choice. Cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Extend your left leg and stack your hips. Bend your knees, circle your toes, or open up by circling the knee. And reach that leg long. Step up between the hands, dropping your right knee to the floor. Inhale, low lunge. Settle in for an exhale. Deep breath in to reach. Exhale, hands down, right knee rises. Stretch your left leg long. Draw the left hip back. Bend into the left knee, raise your arms for high lunge. Open up to how wonderful arms. Inhale, stretch your leg long, arms long. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Inhale, reach. Exhale, bend. Pause and hold. Reach all the way up. Hands come down, step back, plank pose. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, child's pose, puppy pose, or downward facing dog. Forehead to the mat, or come back to that puppy or dog pose. Move yourself back to a downward facing dog. I'm going to shift sides so that you can see what I'm doing here. We're all meeting in that downward facing dog pose. With your next in-breath, stretch your right leg up, curl your knee into your navel. Big exhale. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to navel. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, step through, warrior one. Dial the back heel down, rise with your breath. Settle into your posture. Squeeze the feet together, pin the navel in towards the spine. Exhale, interlacing the hands behind your back. Keep the elbows soft, heart open. Bow over the front thigh or to the inside of the front thigh. Keep squeezing the legs together. Deep breath in and a full breath out. 2 more breaths here. Inhale, rise with the breath, stretch your arms up. Exhale, hands come down to the inside of your foot. Pop your heel up, wiggle back through those left toes, drop your knee, finding a lizard pose. Now maybe you can bring your elbows down to the floor, maybe you need a pillow or blocks. Maybe you want to heel toe that right foot to the right. Come all the way down. Keep your heart stretching forward, so that might require you to stay up on the palms of your hands. And find some space here in the front of the left hip and in the outer right hip. Staying either on that left elbow or coming up onto the left hand. Begin to turn the right toes out for a little twist. Settle into the left hip any amount more. Maybe you have the option to bend the left knee and reach back for the sole of that left foot or ankle and peel the center of the chest open. And again, maybe you're doing this from that left forearm. Settle in and soften. Focus on lengthening your breath. Slowly release, bringing your hands back to the earth. Heel toe that right foot in. We're holding that half Hanuman this time. Fingertips at the inside of the foot, stretching the heart forward, hips back. Bend into your right knee. Pick up that left knee and float your right leg up and back. Taking that twist one more time. Stack your hips. Maybe circle those toes or circle your right knee in the air. And bringing that right foot down to the mat. Inhale your left leg up, 3-legged dog. Exhale, curl your knee to your navel. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to navel. 3-legged dog. Last time, step on through. Warrior 1. Dial the right heel down. Inhale, rise with your breath. Squeeze your feet together. Feel the left hip draw back, the right hip slightly forward. And interlace your hands at your low back, lifting the heart. Soft elbows bow forward. Maybe over that front thigh or to the inside of your front thigh. 3 breaths. On your inhale, reach down into the feet, rise all the way up, gentle back bend. Exhale, hands down to the inside of your foot, pop that right heel up and wiggle back through your toes. Drop your right knee, drop your forearms to the floor or to a bolster or to blocks. Coming into your lizard pose. Again, you may need to heel toe that left foot out. Hanging out here for a few breaths. Allow yourself to get heavy and to feel your weight coming down towards the earth. Get rooted and grounded. Either staying down on that right elbow, turning the left toes, or coming onto the knife edge of the foot. Maybe you're coming up onto the palm of that right hand. Soften the right hip towards the floor. Maybe you'll uncurl those toes, and this might be exactly where you'll stay. Perhaps you'll bend that knee and curl your heel in towards your seat. Find some resistance between your foot and your hand. Peeling the left side of the chest open. Stay here, soften and open. Take another breath in here, and as you exhale, nice easy release to the floor. Let go of that pillow or the blocks or whatever you're using. Heel toe that foot to center. Send that left leg up and back. Three-legged dog, taking it for a ride again. A little twist. Open it up. Extend your legs, square your hips, and lower it down to the mat. Find your child's pose, your puppy pose. Settle in, sink in. Reach your hands forward. Once again, curling the toes, lift your hips coming into that downward facing dog. Bend and stretch your legs, kind of pedaling this dog out. Allow yourself to start to feel some sensation in the hips and the hamstrings. Bend and stretch. Extend long through your right leg once again, three-legged dog. Take a breath. Curling in, step through warrior two this time. Bring that back heel down and rise up with your breath. Settle in, find your reverse warrior, stretching from that right hip all the way up through the right fingertips. Find your warrior two once again. This time bend your elbow, bring your elbow to your thigh, stretch the left fingertips all the way up and above your ear. Deep breath in, squeeze the feet together, full breath out. Find another deep breath in. Take that lifted arm and bring it behind your back. Bring the right fingertips down to the inside of that right ankle. Perhaps you'll wind your hand underneath you to reach for that left arm, finding a bind. Maybe you won't do that. Maybe you'll use a towel or a strap to get there. Or perhaps you'll stay right here with a half bind on that left arm and the right fingertips hovering above the floor. Squeeze your feet together, roll those ribs open, and breathe. Find your reverse warrior once again, perhaps keeping that half bind. Lengthen long through the right leg, keep your arm lifted, revolve to reverse triangle pose. Exhale, bring the hands to the floor, step back, three-legged plank pose. Float that right leg back. Pause here. Float into your left toes, come down halfway or all the way. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe. Float your left leg long, three-legged dog. Take a breath in here, curl in, step through, warrior two. Rise with your breath. Squeeze your feet together. Settle in. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Take a breath. Exhale, elbow to thigh. Parsvakonasana, stretching the right fingertips up and above your ear. Begin to take that right hand behind your waist for a half bind. Roll the right shoulder, the right elbow back. Float your left fingertips to the inside of your shin or float it underneath your hip to find that right arm for a bind, rolling the heart open. Again, if you can't get that easily, use a hand towel or a washcloth or a strap. Keep rolling the center of the chest open. Maybe just float that left hand to the inside of your shin. Keeping that half bind, begin to reverse your warrior once again. Reverse your triangle. Stretch that left leg long, reaching up and back. Exhale, hands come all the way down to the floor. Float the left leg back, three-legged plank pose. Pause there. Float into your toes, come halfway or all the way to the earth. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. Come up onto the balls of the feet, bend your knees. Hop or step forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And let it all go. Root to rise all the way up to stand. And float your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, let go. Inhale, rise with the breath. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach wide and up. Exhale, forward fold. Step back plank pose with wide legs. Take a breath in here. Shift both heels to the right. Come back to center. Shift both heels to the left. And come back to center. Knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Through to your cobra or your upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders open. Exhale, child's pose or puppy pose. Big toes touch, knees apart. Again, perhaps reaching those hands next to the heels or behind your heart. Find your breath here. Reach the hands forward once again. Hips up and back. Find your downward facing dog. Raise that right leg in the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, curl knee to navel. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, curl in and step through. High lunge, inhale, rise with your breath. Exhale, hands down, step back, three-legged plank. Float into the left toes all the way or halfway down to your cobra, your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, curl in, step through, high lunge. Rise with your breath. Exhale, hands down, three-legged plank pose. Float the left toes back. Float into the toes, halfway or all the way down. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come up on the balls of your feet, knees bend, hop, step, jump forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, let go. Root to rise all the way to stand. Hands come to the heart. Grab a block or two. Maybe a strap or a bath towel. Lift and spread the left toes and bring the right toes on up to a block. Make sure your feet are about hip width apart and those left toes are kind of back at a diagonal from the back edge of the block. Take that strap and just place it right across the right thigh. Begin to reach that left hand behind you for the strap. Take your right hand and bring it to the inside of the blocks and just let it dangle here. Take an easy breath in and an easy breath out. Full breath in and a full breath out. Begin to take that right hand now and reach for the tail of that strap. So your left hand is behind your waist and your right arm is under your leg. Left toes turn slightly out. I'm at a little bit of a disadvantage because I'm on carpet here. But begin to snuggle your arms behind that right hip. Coming up onto the tippy toes, begin to use that strap, your hands as a lever for that leg. Find a focal point on the floor and upright yourself, coming into a bird of paradise. Begin to slowly extend that leg long as you can get it. Slowly bend your knee. Place your toes back on the earth or on the blocks and unwind yourself here, coming back into a forward fold. Begin to bring the blocks over and next to the left foot. Grab your strap and rise all the way back up to stand. Place the balls of the left foot on the blocks. Again, that strap right across the left thigh. Right toes turn slightly out. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, bring yourself down. So the left fingertips hover at the inside of those blocks. Begin to take that right arm around for the half bind, perhaps reaching for that strap. Bring the left hand underneath to reach for the tail of that strap. Soften both knees. Using the strength of your core, begin to settle in and rise up. Using that strap, your arms as a little pulley for that left leg. Find a focal point on the earth. Settle into that right knee. Don't lose a little bend to it. And maybe start to extend that left leg. Maybe not. Sit up tall in the pose. Take another breath where you are. And slowly begin to release that left foot down to the blocks. Unwind your legs, find a forward fold. Bend and stretch your legs a few times, give it a little shake, maybe hands to opposite elbows. Kind of swaying to left and right. Take one of those blocks or both of those blocks, turn your toes out and sit down on the blocks for Malasana squat pose. Bringing the elbows to the inside of the blocks or inside of the knees, hands to heart. Close your eyes and find your breath. Bring your fingertips to the floor, lift your hips, remove that block, and begin to bring yourself down to the earth. Draw your knees in towards your navel and make some little circles with your knees. Place your feet on the earth, shift your hips to the left and your knees to the right. Open your arms to goal post or have wonderful arms, maybe a T or a V. Allow that left shoulder to hug the earth. Begin to bring your knees back to center. Again, take a little rock here, rocking the knees from side to side, placing your feet back on the earth. Shift your hips to the right, your knees to the left. Keeping your arms at that goal post or T or V. And find your breath. Begin to draw your knees back to center. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. And extend your arms above your head, your legs long, taking a short Shavasana. Stay here for as long as you need to stay here, yogis. When you're ready to move, rock yourself up to an easy seated pose. And sitting up nice and tall once again, draw your hands to your heart. Thank you so much for joining us for this quick vinyasa flow today. Exactly a half an hour. We did pretty well. Hope you have a lovely evening, and we'll see you soon. Namaste.